Hi guys, Cam here from today's iPhone.com, and this is the last episode of Quiz Cam before the new year. Obviously next week is going to be Christmas week and I'm intending not to do very much work at all next week. So the next episode of Quiz Cam will be in the first week in January. This is episode 1.0.4 and I've got some questions to get through, so let's get started. First question from John321374. What would be your reaction if you dropped your iPad mini? It would be a little something like this. Actually, that's not true. My iPads get dropped all the time. I've got two really young kids and they generally throw them all over the place. So they're pretty sturdy, it's okay. How is your iPad mini holding up? Mine has scuffs all over the bevel. I think you might mean bezel, perhaps. Not to pick at you or anything. Mine's doing okay, but obviously you know I have to review cases all the time. So I've always got a case on it. So I haven't really had any damage at all. There's no scuffs anywhere. I'm just having a look over it now. No, nothing I can see, but then it's covered mostly by a case, so I wouldn't be able to see anything now, would I? Do you prefer Motorola, LG, Samsung or HTC? Those four, very easy answer is HTC. LG and Motorola just don't do it for me at all. I think a lot of their stuff is substandard really in terms of build quality and display quality, at least in my experience. I generally don't like them. Samsung because it's Samsung, and HTC, I really like their devices. I love the hardware, I love the performance, and if only they had a strong marketing team as Samsung, then I think they would actually do just as well as the Galaxy line, especially with the One X series. If there's one person, live or dead, you could meet, who would it be and why? Steve Jobs is obviously the easiest answer to that question. Obviously he's not around now, but I think anyone who's interested in technology, that would be the first person they would want to meet, because he was so important in terms of the evolution of how technology's come about and how it's been entered into our homes, and how actually stuff that we take for granted now, like iPhones and iPads and computers on our desk that are easy to use. I mean, stuff that we take for granted is actually because someone like Steve Jobs actually had the vision to go ahead and push it to market and make it happen because he believed it could happen. So yeah, Steve Jobs would be the answer to that question. Hate to sound redundant, but any news on a jailbreak for iPhone 5? I don't keep my ear to the floor, so forgive me if this has already been addressed. No, not at all. Someone asked me about an iPad jailbreak a couple of weeks ago, I think. Not a lot of news. I mean, there were rumours a little while back, I believe, saying that there was one up and ready to launch, but it turns out that was just a load of rubbish. That was just a rumour, and we've not really heard anything for a long time. It just seems that the jailbreak community is having a really tough time breaking the iPhone 5, as it did with the 4S. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping something happens soon, because there's a lot of really cool jailbreak tweaks have recently been released, and I want to get my hands on them. Do you like the new YouTube layout? No, I haven't liked the YouTube layout since it changed to the one, I think it was last year, with the subscriptions. And before, subscriptions would automatically show up on your homepage, and it would show like 3 or 4 of the videos of the channels that you're subscribed to, all in one place, so you could catch up on videos, whereas now it just shows you a timeline in kind of chronological order, which means that you can actually miss a lot of videos, and I think a lot of our subscribers have missed a lot of our videos. And we've definitely noticed, in terms of, not to say it's all about views, because it isn't really, I mean, especially not this video, but we've definitely noticed that viewing levels have dropped, and it's not because we've got any fewer subscribers, or it's not because we're not doing anything good anymore. It's simply because the timeline has changed so that people generally can't see our stuff as well as they used to. Now that Johnny Ive is in charge of the design for iOS, what are your thoughts on him implementing widgets? I think you've got to realise it's still Apple, and I think widgets will only be implemented in a way that's not going to drain your battery or not going to be running something completely always in the background. Obviously Apple kind of put widgets on OS X on the Mac ages and ages ago, and it was done in a way that it was on a separate screen, and so it wouldn't actually be running. And They've kind of done that again with iOS 6, iOS 5, when you've got the drop-down notification bar where you've got your kind of weather and stock widgets in there. And what would be nice is if they would allow third-party apps to put their widgets in there, so that when you opened it they would just open. But also there was a really cool concept not long ago that showed how potentially they could create widgets out of existing app icons. So you would tap and hold it, and instead of just giving you the option to delete, it would give you the option to change the size of the widget, and also for stuff like contacts and mail, it will give you like a preview of what's in your inbox. And that was really cool, and I can't imagine that that would take up a lot of memory. So I'm hoping that they are starting to think of stuff like this, because iOS, as much as I love it, the general layout and everything is starting to look very old. It's 5 years old and it's basically unchanged. So we really hope that Apple's a little bit braver this year and actually makes a little bit more of a change to the look of iOS. Do you like Legos? That's the last question, by the way. Do you like Legos? Yes, I love Legos. In fact, top of my Christmas wish list, a non-iOS related wish list, is a Star Wars Lego, because I am a big geek. And in fact, I have an iPhone 5 dock, only one, and it's made of Lego. Let me show you. Here, this is completely made of Lego. You fit your, it's got some hooks if you can see them in there, and you fit your cable through, and you sit your iPhone 5 nicely on there. It's got a nice kickstand to it. Cost me about £12 on mydailybrick.co.uk, and if you've already got loads of Lego pieces, you can just download the plan on how to build this yourself. So really cool. Love Lego, love my iPhone, love my dock. Anyway, that's been it from me. I'm at TIP_cam on Twitter if you want to ask me any questions to feature in the next video, which will be in the new year. Please leave a hashtag. At TIP_cam is my name. Hashtag QuizCam, and have a good holiday season. If you don't celebrate Christmas, don't have a Merry Christmas. Have a merry time of doing nothing. If you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Goodbye. Get boom boom boom. Get boom boom boom. We do stupid things before we actually start filming, by the way, in case you didn't know. It helps us to get warmed up. There's no way I'm going to leave that in the video.